한국에서 외국인을 보기란 이제 그렇게 어려운 일은 아닙니다. 그들은 건설, 농업, 운송, 과학기술, 체육, 교육, 관광, 유통, 무역, 연애, 심지어 의료까지 다방면에 걸쳐 우리 사회에 공헌하고 있고 이미 우리 곁에 깊게 파고들어와 있습니다. 2021년 6월 기준 통계상 210만 명을 조금 넘은 한국의 외국인 숫자는 많은 비율이 중국인들이며 베트남과 태국을 제외하면 서구권으로부터 온 외국인은 미국인들이 가장 많은 수를 차지하고 있습니다. 미케일라는 미국의 워싱턴 외곽에 살다가 한국에서 영어를 가르치러 3년 전에 정든 집을 떠나왔습니다. 현재 서울의 한 학원에서 아이들에게 영어를 가르치고 있는 그녀는 사람들이 보기에는 비교적 넉넉지 않은 3천만 원을 연봉으로 벌고 있지만 한국에서 일하는 특유의 장점으로 인해 그녀는 현재 한국 생활에 너무 만족하고 미래를 위한 더 큰 꿈을 꿀 수 있다고 합니다. 추가로 현재 한국 생활이 행복하다는 그녀는 혹시 다른 영어를 모국어로 사용하는 누군가가 한국행을 계획하고 있다면 적극적으로 이를 추천한다고 했는데요. 물론 그녀는 한국의 모든 점이 그녀의 기대를 충족하고 장밋빛이지는 않다고 했습니다. 그렇다면 길다고 하면 길고 짧다고 하면 짧을 수 있는 3년이라는 시간을 서울에서 산 그녀가 외국인의 입장에서 본 한국의 생활에 대한 장단점 및 기타 재미있는 관점들을 털어놓은 영상을 번역해 공유합니다.
My name is Mikeil라는. I'm 26 years old. I make $24,000 a year and I live in Seoul, South Korea. I'm an English teacher in South Korea. I work at an English academy called a Hagwon. I teach kindergarten to elementary school students, and this is my second year teaching in the country. It's not an easy job, but it also depends on what country you decide to go to. I love Korea, but the work culture may be intense for somebody who comes from, Western culture. It is not easy to teach English, even if you are a native speaker, because as native speakers, we grew up learning the language differently. And for me, I have actually taught my fair share of grammar classes, and some of the things, the concepts and stuff, I didn't realize, that I maybe have been using them wrong, like whether it's speaking or writing. When I graduated from college, I decided to go work for the hospitality industry. I worked for 2 different cruise ship companies, and I was able to save a lot of money because it's rent-free, and yes, you do work a lot of hours, but it's rent-free. It's actually really easy to become a certified English teacher abroad. So the steps that you have to take is, first of all, you need to have a bachelor's degree to work in Asia. And the next step would be to get your TOEFL certification. It's kind of like taking a basic college course. Living abroad is great because you get to experience a whole new culture, customs, food, meet incredible people. Like, you get to meet many expats. I've created such strong friendships here. I've seen so many amazing things that I would have never been exposed to if I decided to stay home. Living abroad obviously still has its fair share of problems. If you don't speak the language, it's going to be harder here. I still have a difficult time doing even the most basic things like going to the doctor. And so you have to mentally prepare yourself to deal with even going to the grocery store can be hard. My rent is actually covered by my school, which is very nice. So that takes a huge chunk out of my expenses. But as an English teacher in South Korea, you're responsible for covering your utilities. So that's electric, hot water, gas, and your internet. But all those things are really, really cheap compared to what you would pay in, say, the United States. My internet's very low. It's maybe around $15 a month. And then for the utilities, that's under $100. So I try to go to the grocery store every week because I try to cook at home as much as I can because I go out so much during the weekend. So I know where I have to cut back. This is also like where my budgeting comes in because I usually only try to eat out 2 times a week. In Korea, the produce, like the fruits and vegetables, they are so expensive here. So I only get like a select few of like buying fruits and vegetables. I mainly try to eat rice, the cheaper frozen vegetables, and some of the meats. But overall, grocery shopping can be a little bit more pricey here, I would say. On a typical weekend, I usually spend around $35 at the most, going to one cafe and one restaurant. If we're talking birthday celebration, going away parties for friends that are leaving, that's going to cost a little bit more. So I would add about $10, $15 to that amount. I feel content about the money I make here in South Korea. I'm the type of person, I don't need a lot of money to be happy. I need enough to travel. And that's really just about it for me. Travel and experience new things. Of course, people from the outside looking in would say $24,000 a year, that's nothing. How do you live? I know it's a very small amount, but for me, it really doesn't matter. As I said, as long as I have enough money to travel, I'm completely okay with, making enough to cover my basic needs and do the traveling. Sometimes I get lonely living here when it comes to my family and some friends that I have back home because, I've been relying on FaceTime the past year or so. But with my friends here, I've been lucky enough to find fellow expat, English-speaking friends here. So it's really nice to have people that have the same mindset as you, have the same job as you, have the same reasons for coming to South Korea as you do. It feels absolutely surreal now to actually be able to travel because I never thought that I was going to be able to do this. I'll be really honest. Never thought that I was going to leave the United States. Living a nomadic lifestyle to me means working for my computer and maybe working for an English school part-time because I do like to teach English. I just don't know if I want to continue it full-time. I also do a little bit of freelancing on the side, so I'm hoping that I can change that into a full-time career, which will allow me to live anywhere in the world, work for any company. The biggest misconception about living abroad is that it's not all sunshine and rainbows, the perfectly edited photos that you see on Instagram. It's still real life, just in a different place that just happens to speak a different language and have a different flag. If I had waited until I was ready to come to South Korea, I would have waited a long time. I feel like when it comes to making huge decisions, new lifestyle changes and things like that, especially moving abroad, you just have to do it.
미케일라가 한국에서 좋은 경험을 하고 자신이 하고 싶은 프리랜싱 글쓰기로 더욱 많은 자유를 얻어 더 큰 세상을 향해 희망찬 발걸음을 내딛었으면 좋겠습니다. 오늘 영상은 여기까지입니다. 오늘 영상이 재미있고 유익했다면 좋아요와 구독을 눌러주세요. 저는 이제까지 유읍스였습니다. 저는 다음 시간에 더욱 알찬 영상으로 다시 찾아오겠습니다. 안녕히 계세요.